recording this so you guys can get a YouTube copy of this later. I'll be publishing it. And Ed, I think you know what to do. Guys, it's 5 o'clock. It's time of the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour. Woo! Woo! Clap.
Yeah.
Be happy, smile, because we made it through another week. The pandemic. We're all still here. We're all still alive. So that's something. And welcome to the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour. This is a talk show, but it's all just comedians. We just talk with each other. I interview some comedians every week and find out why they decided to get into comedy. I play some of their clips. We also do a little bit of improv here. We do a discussion of Zoom comedy. Sometimes we pull up clips from sketches. We do a commercial quiz show. We do a whole bunch of things here. It seems like a lot, but we do manage to fit it into 1 hour. And it is a good time. We are taking comments. I see we have plenty of people watching live. Melanie Calabrese, for example, is here. She's here for the others. Haha, just kidding, is what she says. We will read the comments. That's one good thing about our show is we try very hard to make the audience feel like they're part of the show. And with that, it is time to start our news of the hour. You got to always start with the news. So let us do that. You guys ready for a little bit of the news of the week?
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
ready.
Probably not.
Probably not. Okay. Well, let us see what the news has for us in store this week. Let us see what I picked out. All right, let's start with a little bit of business news. New data revealed this week shows that geography actually makes a big difference in the proportion of small businesses that have closed during the pandemic. In fact, the worst hit area in the US right now is right in my backyard, San Francisco, with 49% of small businesses closing during the pandemic. Bad news, but look on the bright side, San Francisco. Maybe you can finally say goodbye to that $20 avocado toast. Thank you, Ed. Has anybody ever bought a $20 avocado toast? I've had it. It's
No
not
way.
worth $20. Anybody? All right. Work is due to start on the world's first space hotel in low Earth orbit. This is going to be starting in 2025. And they'll have, at this hotel, they'll have restaurants, a cinema, spa, rooms for 400 people. Now, they haven't picked a name yet for the hotel, but I think we all know what a good name would be. The 1200 Mile High Club.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
That's what's going to be happening. That's what's going to be happening. We're all going to want, everyone's going to want to be part of that club, right? All right. Forensic experts are now suggesting that Tiger Woods, you've heard about this, actually may have fallen asleep at the wheel prior to his crash in LA last month.
That's a band.
What'd you say, Tony?
That's a band, asleep at the wheel.
Yeah. So the thing is, fortunately, Tiger is alive, and well, he's okay. I mean, he's going to, take a while to recover. But police say Tiger and his car are actually very hard to find down the side that he rolled down this embankment. So the police are now calling it the case of the sleeping tiger hidden Volkswagen. Sleeping tiger hidden Volkswagen. It wasn't actually a Volkswagen, but I just made it that way to be able to use that movie and rename it, because you know what? I enjoyed that movie. Okay. First Lady Jill Biden, also known as FLOTUS, and her entourage of staff and Secret Service have apparently been stopping in at local DC coffee shops to get coffee rather than go to the big chains like Starbucks and Dunkin'. She says she's doing it to show support for local businesses. But what I want to know, you guys, is when she orders her coffee, does she use Jill or Dr. Jill? Because that's important, you guys. She's actually a doctor, in case you forgot. All right, our last story of the night, and New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, still in hot water. He's been apologizing to his accusers, mostly former staffers who say he made inappropriate comments to them while at work. He would say things like, "Do you have a boyfriend? Do you date older men? Have you ever been with a governor?" This is the kind of things he would say. Now, Cuomo issued a statement earlier this week, and he apologized. He said, Look, I'm sorry if my banter was misinterpreted as flirtation by female colleagues. This made his accusers even angrier. Because,
Oy.
see what he's trying to do here? He's mansplaining his mansplaining. Mansplaining is mansplaining, which is, if you've ever been accused of mansplaining, you don't want to start mansplaining in the first place. So,
Not in public.
non-public at least. Thank you, Tony. Yes, that's right. And that was the news, you guys. Yes, that was the news. That was the news. Thank you very much. Thank you. And on that note, it is time to bring up our very first guest of the night. He's been kind of saying things here in the background. So let's finally get his face on camera. Let's add Tony. Guys, welcome Tony Viagra.
Tony.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to have you. Now, I usually do a little bit of an intro to people about my guests, and all I can say that I know about you so far is I believe you're from the East Coast, and
Yes.
that you also possibly maybe you're an attorney. I think I saw that on your Facebook profile. But you know
Yes,
what?
I am.
Why don't
Don't
you
hold that against me.
yourself?
Please don't hold that against me.
I won't hold it against you. Why don't you?
I'm an honest attorney.
What kind of attorney?
Honest
An
attorney.
honest attorney. Tell
Which
us
means I'm in
about
short
you.
supply.
Tell us about you, how you got into comedy, and so we can find out more about you.
Oh, I got in comedy. It goes way back when I was in the Air Force about 40 years ago is where I got the bug. I wanted to do stand-up comedy.
Wow.
And then I almost bled to death in the Air Force, and that didn't help my stand-up career at all. And then I began this journey, this long, insane journey of going to graduate school while I worked and getting an MBA, and going to law school at night while I worked and becoming an attorney, and then working as a attorney for many years around a bunch of sociopathic fucking assholes. And I want to tell you something. Working around other attorneys is not conducive to being a stand-up comedian. And so, but I pursued my stand-up career for a long time, and here in Podunk, where I am, it's tough to get a start in stand-up comedy because there were no open mics. But I was still working my material for many years, and I developed this crazy character many years ago when I used to go out and bike 50 miles every Saturday, a pedal type. I used to go out and do a 50-mile ride every Saturday by myself. It's like a 4-hour meditation. And one day I was up my bike and I thought, yeah, this is who I want to be. Tony Viagra. It had nothing to do with the drug either. Nothing to do with the drug. It sounded like a really cool fucking asshole. And that's what I wanted to come off as a comedian, a cool fucking asshole. And people say, no, you're just a fucking asshole. Well, I'm trying to be a cool fucking asshole, you know? And so I've been doing comedy a long time. And I'm done with that attorney bullshit. I'm also a disabled veteran because I almost bled to death in the Air Force. And I'm sorry about that, but I had no control over it. And, so stand-up comedy is my passion, my love. I opened for Doug Stanhope, which is my claim to fame, and that was a fantastic, great experience opening for Doug in front of 600 people. Wow. And that was really cool. And Doug's crowd, just so happens, Doug's crowd is my crowd. And also, I've opened for some other, Janice City, who's big in New York City, opened for her. And Reverend Bob Levy, who's been on the Howard Stern show a long time ago, I opened for him. But Doug Stanhope, man, that guy's so great. And I had a blast. That was such a high opening for him. And I had so much fun that night. And Doug is so great. I mean, he bought all my booze as much as I wanted, all my booze. He paid me. He went on his national podcast and said, what a big fucking asshole I am. But he said my name. He said my name, and that made me happy, you know? And so it was all good. And it was all good. And so, yeah, I'm done with that attorney bullshit. Makes me sick in my stomach, and stand-up comedy is where it's at, and that's what I put all my time and energy into that. And of course, I'm doing yoga. I've been doing yoga for over 40 years, and I just walked 5 miles, and you know, it's tough. But my gym's been closed for a year now. It's kind of tough, and keeping my sanity. But I've been doing a lot of time on stand-up, writing lots of new material, doing tons of Zoom shows, working my material, working my stand-up, and you know. it's doing a stand up at home in an empty room. It's second nature because I'm used to doing stand up in empty rooms, so it's just like second nature. It's not new. And
well, Tony, you're probably, first of all, thank you for your service, by the way, and
thanks.
I appreciate that, and I'm sure we all do. And also, I think attorneys are great. I've got a lot of attorneys in my family, so I mean, I think it's a good profession, and actually, that's a great inspiration for comedy. Are you, just to clarify, are you in New York City, or are you?
No,
you're not at all. But you are on the East Coast somewhere.
East Coast, yeah, for Motel 6.
Okay, got it. Motel 6 on the Jersey Turnpike, possibly.
Yeah,
or somewhere like that. Okay.
Pennsylvania Turnpike.
Now, also, Tony, you also go by a couple of other names, a couple of other characters. You have.
Yes, I do.
Are you also the original gangster of comedy?
I am. Tony Viagra, the gangster comedy.
Gangster.
In fact, I should have asked you to play my intro music, which is it's by the Ghetto Boys called "Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster." That's my intro music.
Okay.
It really is my intro music. It really is.
Are you actually like gangster in what way? Just you're
A gangster?
I think
I'm a gangster.
Gang affiliated.
the gang affiliated. You just gangster.
Yeah.
You're just whole vibe.
I'm a gangster of comedy.
Got it.
I'm a gangster of comedy.
Okay.
No, you're not allowed to.
Legal rights, you're not allowed to ask that. And we have somebody wrote in. Actually, Ed's mom has joined us, so welcome.
Hi, Ed's mom.
Hi, Mom.
Always good to have her on the show. So, and also you have a couple of the characters. We're not going to be able to play them all tonight, but you do a pretty funny Frank Perdue and also a Bob Hopeless as well.
Comedian Bob Hopeless entertaining the troops over in Pyongyang, North Korea. Yes.
That's right. Bob Hopeless entertaining the other troops. Over
in Pyongyang, North Korea.
That's right. So I did find a clip of yours online. I know it's one of your older things, but what I liked about it, it was sort of representative of the comedy that I've heard online. So let me go ahead and play a clip of Tony's comedy and find out. So let me just share my screen here. Ed, I'm going to stop your sharing, and we're going to pull up.
My sharing.
Yeah, sorry, we'll have to get back to that. All right, so can you tell us Legacy of Laughs? Is that where is this?
That is in Chambersburg, Pennsylvania, several years ago, quite a few years ago.
Okay. Well, let's just play it because I think it's a good clip. So this is Tony. Actually, let me make sure, you guys, before I do that, because I may have made a mistake with I did not share the sound. Always got to share your sound. Okay, so Tony Viagra at the Legacy of Laughs. Let's play these last 2 minutes. I thought they were pretty good. Let's play this.
Then I went on a blind date. It didn't go well. She kept poking me in the groin with her white cane. I met a pretty lady and she was really hot. So I put an ice bag on her head. And I said to her, "Do I make you wet?" She said, "Yeah, you make my farts wet." Then she said, "I love dirty talk." So I told her about the refrigerator at work. I'll tell you, I've been on a lot of dates. I can tell you something about dates. They're better than prunes. Unless you're constipated. I was standing in the mall yesterday. A lady walked right up to me and she said, "Do you believe in love at first sight?" Before I could answer, I realized she had a glass eye. I was driving down the interstate and I saw a big billboard for breast cancer. Farther down the interstate, there's a big billboard for prostate cancer. And it said, "Stick a finger up your ass." I had a crazy dream last night. It's really crazy. I dreamt of Beyonce's tampon. Hey, don't make fun of my dreams. It was real dark and real loud. It sounded like piss. But it was a neat way to get into a concert for free. I'm Tony Viagra.
Hi, Tony.
Oh, good. Well, yeah.
You should have played the early part where I said all the bad words.
Well, I was going to say, not exactly a clean comedian, but I could see where the see you being.
But I can do clean where requested. I will do clean where requested.
Absolutely.
And Tony is looking for gigs.
Tony hasn't. Well, actually, that great segue. I was going to ask you, Tony. We always save the last minute of the interview for you to promote and tell people what you're working on and what you want to promote. So, how about it, Tony? What kind of shows do you want to talk about? What do you want to promote to the audience?
Well, my main thing is, I'm a stand-up comedian. I love stand-up comedy. I love making people laugh. Normally I'm over the edge, adult comedy, but I will do clean. If somebody's that fucked up that they want clean comedy, I will do clean. And if it's like, I'm going to stand up at the Mormon church or something, but some, we've all been locked down because of COVID. And, but now things are slowly going to start opening up, like, later in the spring, things are going to open up. And I'm certainly looking for gigs. I'll either be the opener or the headliner, because I've done, in fact, the last 3 shows I did before things shut down, I was the headliner. I did 60-minute sets, my last 3 shows. In fact, I even headlined a show in Medford, Oregon last year. I was a headliner in Medford, Oregon. So, and
we'll do.
I'm on Facebook.
Okay.
Put an extra in on Facebook.
We'll put up your character sketches. We'll put up your clips, and we'll try to promote you. And guys, give it up for Tony for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. Tony.
Thanks everybody. Thank you.
Don't go anywhere.
Thank you.
Keep it gangster.
All right, keep it gangster. Don't go anywhere, Tony, because you're part of the quiz. So let's remove that spotlight. And you know what? It's time for you guys. It's time for a little improv.
Woo!
A little improv.
Yeah.
Let's see if we have. Do we have our full improv? We have. Well, I guess Eric, you want to do a little improv tonight?
You know what? I'll jump in for sure. Duty calls. I got his back.
All right. Let's. Okay, so let's put Ed Rubin. You guys. He's one of he's the core of our improv team, and let us also add Eric to our improv schedule here and add Ed. All right, so
Ebony and Ivory. Let's go.
Ebony and Ivory, and we will bring up our random word generator so we can figure this out. And let me first of all explain what this improv is. It's called
Tony off there.
Only. It's called Questions Only, and it's an improv game essentially where the 2 improvers try to ask each other questions around a certain topic. The first person to say something that's not a question is the loser. So we usually get a couple, 3 rounds out of this. So let's start off with, what do you guys want to start with tonight? Location, relationship, or word?
You choose, Eric. Let's go word.
Word. All right, we're gonna go with the word. Let's
right.
All right, the word for tonight is Japan.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
How appropriate. Okay.
Have you ever seen one of those Japanese commercials, Eric?
Are you thinking about the ones with the robots?
Were those robots?
I mean, have you seen the commercial yourself?
What do you mean by seen?
Wait, what happened there? That was technically a question.
Actually, I think, Eric, the second or third thing you had said was actually not a question, but
What? Okay.
it's okay.
I like you keep me honest, Tommy. Let's do it.
Hey, well, we play a couple rounds, so you guys get lots of chances. All right, let's try a different thing. Location, relationship, or word.
Let's go for relationship. Relationship. Yeah.
Okay. Script writer and actor. Script writer and actor. Go ahead, improv.
So what's your play about?
What do you want it to be about?
I mean, I would hope it's not going to be like your last 3. Is it?
You didn't like my last 3?
I mean, the last 3 weren't as good as my first 2, were they?
All right, we went off the question format. Let's try one more, you guys. Let's try one more.
One more. Eric, you get to choose.
I'm used to giving a 3rd degree to
another
people. All right. This is location then. Yeah.
Location. All right. Look, balcony. I feel like we did that before. Balcony, but let's try it again. Balcony. Improv team, take it away.
Does Juliet sit up here or Romeo?
It's a great view up here, don't you think? For either one of
Why
them.
would I be looking out to the view?
I mean, well, why did you bring me up here?
Why did you think I brought you up here?
I mean, does it always have to come to that with you, Ed?
I'm a nice guy, aren't I?
I got nothing.
I barely had anything
Good job,
either.
guys. All right, guess
Thank
give it
you
up
for
the improv
tolerating
team.
that, everybody.
Give it up.
Man, we gotta get Cherish back. I'm not holding his throne.
There you go. All right. Are you guys ready for our next comedian?
Woo!
Let's figure out how to replace. Let's remove the spotlight. And where is Cynthia? Here she is. Let's replace the spotlight. Guys, give it up for Cynthia in public.
Hi, how's it going, folks? Yeah.
Cynthia is a repeat guest. She's been on before, so we won't do our usual interview. We're gonna focus. We're gonna get right in on the topics that matter for Cynthia, which is, first of all, I don't know if you guys have been watching her feed, but Cynthia has actually taken a big step. She started a company, and I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry, I think it's bang something. Bang. You tell me.
Bangu Productions.
But it is an LLC, which, like, I mean, that's a big step in and of itself. Most comedians probably don't know what an LLC is, but at any rate, tell us about your new production company.
Yeah, it really was. I'll keep it clean because I think it's that kind of show. But my smart butt decided to start a company in the middle of the apocalypse, and that's just what I did. I was actually the first person to create a Zoom comedy show, or one of the first person to create a Zoom comedy show in the Bay Area. And I have the longest running one. It literally started, I think, 5 days after the quarantine was in place. And we're coming up the 1 year. And at some point in August, I was like, I might as well just create a company out of this. And I did. And then I started, I think, 5 more shows. And really the goal is to just promote diversity and inclusion, as well as community in every way, sort, or fashion, right? So we've donated like a lot of money to local Black Lives Matter organizations, including for defunding the police, for billing out protesters, because that was really big back here. Also the TGIP Justice Initiative, which is for transgender, intersex, gender variant folks. So it helps them within and outside of the prison pipeline and just provides them with resources. We donate money to So Much Mayfair. Recently, I still need to make the donation drop, but for, I think, Oakland Chinatown, because they're doing a lot of community-based initiatives to fight racism right now on the streets. And I tend to think that community and comedy should just go together, right? I think compared to a lot of other comedy clubs, I try to actually be as relevant to people's lives as possible and really connect with what's going on in their lives, right? So if there's a huge Capitol attack, right? Like where like they literally just walk in because the security guards just rolled out the red carpet and dusted off their jackets and like put the little rose petals down, like coming to America. Like we're gonna talk about that, right? I had an open mic on that same day, and most of it was just people like literally just processing that. And you know, we celebrated Black History Month with a lot of different events, like a podcast, Black and Proud, which was just Black and queer individuals comedy show, all Black comedy show. We celebrated the Lunar New Year with an all Asian American lineup. We did Dia de los Muertos. We did Black Boy Joy. So like I try to like emphasize, especially for people that are not typically featured in comedy, which is like anyone that isn't a straight heterosexual white man, you know?
Yeah.
So I've been making a really targeted effort to include more people on the queer section, especially transgender people, include more people in the disabled spectrum. And I still definitely have gaps. I need to beef up my representation of Indigenous Americans, as well as my representation of transgender people and Asian Americans. But we spend a lot of time, probably 3 times as much time booking, because I think that you should have comedy shows that represent the population that serves them, right? You should make comedy that's good for everyone, not just like straight white people. I don't know. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a straight white person or a straight white man, but like, you're basically a part of the whole pie, right?
Yeah.
You're not the pie, which is what traditional comedy is about.
Right. Oh, that's excellent. And kudos to you for going back to the LLC thing. I have to just say that was really smart. I don't know who advised you to do that, but that's a pretty smart thing, because liability removes you from being liable for anything.
Exactly. It really helps my taxes, but it also kills my savings at the same time. Like, y'all don't even know how my paperwork works. Like, it's terrible. Like, they send me a letter. Like, they're like, hey, any employee in your LLC, they gotta have that big old sign that says you have employee rights and this is the minimum wage. I'm like, I'm the only employee in my business. Why do I have to pay $300 to put up a sign in my room telling myself that I have rights? Rights. I don't save money.
Maybe you know this already, but when you have an LLC, obviously you can deduct pretty much everything.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Which reminds me, I'm going to be doing taxes the next 2 weeks. Yay. They're due March 15th. So I will finish it. I think they move it up a month for businesses. So I'm just going to try and do everything this weekend. I'll finish my March 15th is the goal.
Very smart, Cynthia. That's a good move. Now, also, we want to make sure to go over the variety appearance. Should I just bring it up and then you give us a little background and then I play it? Should we do that?
Yes, Tommy.
Right.
Yes, Tommy.
Let me find it for you, because this goes back to Nico Lukov. I think Nico's on now as well.
Yes, Nico was the man behind the scene that I think it was him and Chip Jones that recommended me, and I don't know who else in Displaced.
Yeah,
Nico we talked about this from Displaced Comedian's point of view last week, and now today we're talking it from your point. So tell us a little bit, before I play the part where you're on, I found it. Tell us a little bit more background about it before we play it.
Well, I got a random message from someone on the internet at like 11 p.m. at night saying they wanted to interview me the next day or the very day after for an interview with famous up-and-coming comedians. I just said yes. And then they moved it till Saturday, and then we had a ton of Facebook issues. But then I also got to meet like Michelle Buteau, Sam James, good morning. That was incredible. London Hughes, also a really great author, Angelique from Variety. So it was really just, I thought at first they were interviewing me, but then I was like, oh yeah, I don't mean anything. I'm not important. So it's just like me and other Black women that are up and coming in comedy, having the chance to get some mentorship and support from like other Black women that are more successful. It was incredible. I really loved the experience. It was great getting to propose to all 3 women at once. Yeah.
Well, let's play a few minutes of it and just see what this was about. And let's play. Here we go.
Shaka Khan next. Genghis Khan.
Ow.
But my question for this is, how important is it for us to keep having Black fill in the blanks? Like first Black fill in the blanks.
Okay, well, I would say that I'm honestly over it. The narrative is done for me, and it's like, at this point, I think that we should just be talking more about why is that so, than this other reverse thing that we do of like taking so much pride in being the first whatever. It's like, you know, people are like, how does it feel to be like the first gay Black woman to have a late night? And I'm like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I guess if you think about it, because there probably should have been some before me. Like,
Yes,
sure,
Sam J.
the
Yes.
funniest lesbian to exist. I can't believe that. And I can't believe I'm the funniest Black lesbian to ever walk the earth. So, I mean, kind of crappy. You know what I mean? In that way, like,
I love
don't
you
know.
for that. Because it's so true.
just
It's like
don't-
we're updating iPhones more than history books. It's like, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm loving how
You know, and
also congrats though. Like it's also I am happy for you that that is you, even if it's sad. I'm like, well done on getting to this point in your career where you're breaking barriers, and because of you, there'll be more. You know, so
Absolutely.
I feel like it's
It really
helping us.
is. It's always
helping
bittersweet. It's always a dream within a nightmare. It's always like, I'm really happy I'm here. My knees are also real tired tap dancing for everybody. So as long as you acknowledge that, then like, you know, let's keep it moving and start making more space and jobs and opportunities.
I think that's what I'm saying. It's like, appreciate it, but let's get to the real conversation at hand, because like, at the end of the day, me being the first Black lesbian it has nothing to do with the quality of what my show is going to be. It has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of what I do. So like, great. Okay. Now
I think that's definitely a good moment to stop.
spend a lot of time living in that space.
Yeah, that's the difference.
You're on right after this, right? Did I?
Yeah, I think I was towards the end. I could just summarize the question that I asked. But
I thought I got it to where you come on. Did I not do that right? Here you are.
Right there.
Here you are.
Yeah.
Where are we actually gonna live in this space and what we're gonna do? Anyways.
Let's get to Cynthia in public then with your question.
Hi, how's everyone doing? So my name is Cynthia in public. I am out from San Jose. It's going to be a long question, but I'll try to make it short. I decided to start a comedy production business during the apocalypse. And I'm also a baby comic. Like they just cut off my umbilical cord. Like that's real, right? So I've had a lot of lows with, being a producer, small business owner, being a comedian, just trying to make spaces for like Black and queer and LGBTQ, differently abled folks. Within your career, because all of y'all are multi-hyphenated, what have been some of your lowest points, if you're emotionally comfortable sharing it? And then how did you get through it? If you're not, you could just pass or just talk about your favorite puppy. I don't know.
Do you mean the lowest?
Well, that was a pretty good question.
Yeah. It was. I definitely loved hearing that. I think my favorite answer was by London Hughes, because she talked about how she spent $10,000 renting out this whole theater for this like big comedy like festival out in London, somewhere in the UK, and then she said like 6 people showed up per day. Right. And she was performing a 1-woman, 1-hour show every single day for a month because she paid $10,000 to do it. And 6 people showed up every day. Right. And it was like a 200-300 person theater. So she just said, what's funny is a year later, I was picked by Kevin Hart. He produced my special and people were paying $100 a ticket to see me. Mm-hmm. Right. So it very much was an inspiring story of, you're gonna have some lows. You're gonna have moments where like your bank account is in the red, maybe. But if you keep pushing through, you'll eventually get to like that top, and you'll get to see the light at least. So it was great.
Well, that was. I mean, the one thing I wanted to ask you is that appearance on that variety program, did that generate I don't know, fans or inquiries or any kind of.
I got a few more likes. That's about it. That's about it.
Okay.
I don't think anyone cares enough about me. But I thought it was. I think it's still to me a big landmark and a stepping point that I was even on something like that.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like, okay, this is another door that's open to other future opportunities. Working with that production company that partnered me in that, and then maybe even one day working with any of those bigger stars.
Well, I was going to say, did they connect you with those comedians?
I reached out. I think I friend requested some of them, but at the same time, I'm a terrible person. Like when there's someone really famous, I don't like to bother them. I'm just like, right. I'm really nice, but I don't want to come off as if I'm trying to take their clout and you know, I don't want to seem like I'm attaching myself. So in a weird way, I'm like, I'm gonna friend request you. If you say yes, cool. If you don't,
Yeah.
it's fine. But one day I hope that I can have you on one of my shows, because to me that's the best thing I can do. It's like, oh hey, one day I hope I'm big enough that like you could come on my platform and perform and have a great time.
That's good. That's a good attitude, Cynthia. You know, stay humble and just, you know, try to just you do your best thing that you can do, and then hopefully people will see that and will come along. Last but not least, so obviously we want to promote your upcoming shows, companies. Is there a website or something that I should put out?
The website is in the works. I actually just saw it last night. It's beautiful. I want to show all of you. It's so beautiful. It's so it's not ready yet. But it looks so beautiful.
Okay.
But for now, I have my Facebook and Instagram. I can put it in the chat, and I can also post it on Facebook to anyone that's watching. I highly encourage you to like and follow my Facebook page, and then also follow my Instagram. That bumps us up in the algorithm. And if you really, really like me, you can also put like $1 and become a drunk auntie on Patreon.
Okay.
We have different tiers. So like if you give a certain amount of money, you get access to all our Zoom shows and everything. If you give like just $1 a month, you get a cool shout out.
All right.
And yeah, so check it out.
We'll post that. We'll post that at the on the page. And guys, get up for Cynthia Public for second time on the show. We don't have that many second time. It's one of them. So all right, and I think it's time, you guys, for the very important business of comedy. Here's our business leader, Eric Newton, the guy who goes out there and he gets sponsored. You guys, yes. This show is a paid show. And we have companies that come in and pay us to broadcast this over the interwebs. So Eric, who have you found to pay us this week?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Eric Newton again, you know, from the Safeties, Oakland. What's up, everybody? This week, we have a really, really huge, great sponsor. I'm so excited. This week, the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour is brought to you by the Virgin Group. Can you believe that? Oh my God. Wow. They own so many companies. That's why this is really exciting for me. Like, people don't know all the stuff that Richard Branson owns. Like, did you know that the Virgin Group actually owns all these like data, the ancestry.com websites? So basically, so basically Richard Branson owns everybody's like genetic metadata, which is crazy because now that we're working with them, I was like, I can finally achieve my life's dream. I can get my own clone of myself made, right? So I went to the people at Virgin. I was like, dude, I need to get a clone of myself. People were like, why would you want to clone yourself? I'm like, duh, for the same reason people have kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need someone to avenge my death if I ever get murdered in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So they whipped them together. They got me a clone. It just finished going through quality assurance. He just graduated into behavioral conditioning. And I'm gonna name Atari 2600. He's gonna avenge my death. So that's all I teach him. I'm like, hey, if I die, you avenge my death. That's your only purpose in life. So thank you, Virgin Mobile. Thank you, Richard Branson, for making my dream come true. And that's our sponsors for this week.
All right, good. Wow, cloning.
Very cool.
That's a very creative use of a clone as well. Hats off to you for that. Excellent.
Safety first. Safety first.
Safety first. All right. We have our next comedian coming up here for interview. Let's see if I can find where she is. Chelsea on deck. Here we go. Replace spotlight. And guys, give it up for Chelsea Bearce for coming on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Welcome. Well, I have to admit that I've heard a lot about you, but I don't know a lot about your background, except for I think we're both in the East Bay. I think you're in the North East Bay, and I'm in the sort of the South area. But we're basically fellow East Bay comedians, so we've got that in common. But why don't you tell us about you, Chelsea, your background in comedy, especially what got you into comedy in the first place?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you for having me. First, I want to say thanks for having me. I am excited. This is a paid show. That's great. Whatever I'm getting paid, it's not enough. That's for sure. I'm just kidding. Hi, super happy to be here. It's fine. Virgin, that's cool. Eric said that Virgin is sponsoring us. That's great. And that they own Ancestry.com. That's very funny that Virgin owns a company that's based on people fucking. It's very funny to me. hilarious. Very, very good. I have been a stand-up comic for 13 years. I'm going into my 13th year of stand-up comedy. I got started down in LA. That was my first time on stage was actually at the Ice House in Pasadena. That was my very first time on stage. And what I didn't do, I guess one of the normal ways of doing this is you're like, well, I'm the funniest one in my group and I always make people laugh at parties. So I'm just going to go to open mics and want to kill myself. And so it's like, I didn't do that. I didn't start in the open mic world. I actually I have a background in theater and musical theater and improv and sketch. That is my background. And I've always been the funny best friend, the sassy secretary, the fat girl who's never an ingenue. Like that's always just my character. And so when college down in Pasadena offered a comedic performance class, I was like, well, that's an easy A. And I went in there and they said the first day, your final will be performing 10 minutes of your own material at the Ice House. And half the class dropped out. We never saw them again. They died. So I was like, well, that's a very good challenge. I'm up for it. Went on stage, killed my first 10 minutes and never looked back. I was like, that is a high that I've been chasing my entire life and I want that forever. So that's how I got into stand-up. I did 3 years down in LA. Then I moved to New York. I lived in New York for 5 years doing stand-up in theater. And then I came back and have been in the Bay Area since 2015. So that's me.
Yeah, no, that's about what I had heard. I mean, as a comedian here in San Francisco, the Bay Area, I've heard your name so many times. That's why I finally wanted to get you on the show. You are definitely, I wrote in the blurb, Bay Area favorite. I do really think that you're one of those people that everybody knows and everybody likes. That's important. And wants to work with. So it's great.
Thank you. Yeah, it's one of those things. Like Cynthia was talking about, like as a performer, you go through like these ebbs and flows, and you do all this, and it's true. And a lot of times, especially during this time, this pandemic, it's really easy to get down on yourself. There's no shows. I don't want to do Zoom and da 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 da. It's like you have to adapt. As performers, people are looking to us to help them get through this pandemic. The fact that we were deemed non-essential right when this thing started is the biggest crock of bullshit I've ever heard in my life, because people need this more than anything now, so to say that that I'm a Bay Area favorite definitely means a lot to me, because there's more than just being funny on stage. You need to be a decent person. You need to want to be easy to work with. You need to be easy to network with, easy to find. Just be a decent human being, and it's just and the fact that, I'm also a minority, I'm a woman, I'm a single mother, I cross off a lot of boxes, you know what I mean? So it's like when people are like, well, we need, we want to do a Black show. Great, Chelsea. We want to do a show with moms. Great, Chelsea. We want to do a show with big tits. Great, Chelsea. Like, it's just like, it's great. So, I mean, if you can, check off all those boxes, you know what I mean? So that's how you make it, I guess.
That's great. So wait a second, before I show you, I have some clips of yours. I have a clip of your sketch and of your stand-up. You have so many things going on. During the pandemic, it seems like you're shifting a little bit. But what are your favorite things within the many things in comedy you do? What's your sort of favorite thing?
Yeah, to say that I do a lot is a gross understatement. I have like 9 jobs. It's really, really stupid. So like Cynthia, I actually did start my own business as well. I own a custom cake business out of my house, and one of my cakes went viral and it just like blew up. So I'm still just me in the business. Like I'm not trying to work with humans. Gross. But it's like I have my own cake business, Chelsea Got Cakes. You can find it. It's a thing. Okay. And I also, have a 4-year-old son, so that's a thing. I, do stand up as much as I can. But my big thing is I want to put out content that's different. I want to do, anyone can put out a stand up show. Anyone can grab their friends and be like, be funny for 8 to 10 minutes on a Tuesday at 4. Like anyone can do that. And I wanted to do something different. So my friend in New York and we created a game show, so I produce a game show. And, then my friends in the Bay Area, we also produced a game show. So now we're doing that. I do online shows with my best friend, Miles Weber. We perform and we do where we just talk banter. And it's like hanging out with comics in the green room. So we book comics to come on, but we're strictly doing no material, so. And people want to hang out with comics, like, sure, you can tell jokes and stuff, but if you're a real comic, you're funny in life. Like, let's talk about the real shit, So, so I like doing things that are a little bit different. And I've always been a hustler from the day I was born. But so I'm used to hustling. I'm used to this. But when the pandemic hit, I just had to alter it a little bit. And it just made me up my hustle, which I didn't know was possible, but damn, it is. So, yeah.
Well, I picked some samples of your stuff. Like you said, you have a lot going on, but I found a couple things that I thought were kind of interesting. So let me pull up some of your comedy just so that the audience can get.
Sure, yeah. And you went deep to find these. I didn't even know these were still out there. Like, this was before YouTube was invented. I'm surprised you have this. This is great.
I like to do my own.
Within comedy or within life? Yeah.
I like to do my own research. I am my day job is I do research for business, so I kind of have a thing.
All right, calm down, Tommy. It's not about you, okay? Let me have my 8 minutes. Settle down.
Thank you for putting me in my place. I appreciate that. You're almost as good as my wife in that. All right, so this is. You want to tell us a background on this?
Well, sure. There was a time period here. This was a few years ago when Verizon was doing these commercials, and for some reason, like I think in the commercials, everything was like cut in half, and it was like, oh, the room was split up, and no one was ever like commenting on the fact that the possessions were severed in two. And so I was like, this is funny. So so I decided to do a Verizon parody. That's
all right. So here's a parody of Verizon. Here we go.
He cheated on me.
We were on a break. Doesn't count.
With a 23-year-old waitress.
She wasn't supposed to find out.
I checked his phone.
I changed my passwords for her protection.
I have Verizon's breakup plan.
I don't. Wait, what?
It's great. I can check his emails, his texts, even his GPS locations.
I have T-Mobile. How's that even possible?
See, Verizon allowed one person to sign up from the relationship. It's perfect.
Is this real? Why is my stuff all cut in half?
Join us on the most reliable network.
Verizon breakup plan. Yeah, something that no one ever thinks about. Absolutely. I like, I just like the way that your mannerisms, the way that you like a little smirk a little bit, and I could see that you have a good sort of, acting background in the sense.
Yeah, thank you.
Comedians aren't always really good at in front of the camera for acting purposes. I like your mannerisms.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, this was also a period of my time. This is a period of my life where I was on a big parody kick. I have a parody out there called Curvy, and I'm actually singing to Royals by Lorde, and it's just about me having big boobs, and that's it. It's the whole song.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so that one, that was a big one. That one went big, but it was just, it's just parodies are really fun to me. I like the idea of sketch, making fun of something that is relevant, that's very, very universal, but also the thing with sketch is you can just heighten the joke, and then fuck off. Like you don't need to like wrap it up in the story or, anything like that with a script. So parodies is a really sweet spot for me.
This one here, the Royals one, that was 181,000 views. Did that like?
Yeah, that's actually completely a lie because it was stolen so many times and put on so many different platforms that yeah, it was way more than that, but it was taken so many times that the views were being counted up on multiple different platforms and other pages.
We had Orion Levine on here.
Yeah.
Early in the podcast, early when we started the show, he said the same exact thing. He's like, you got the one number, but then a lot of people, I don't know how, but they just scrape it or forward it, or I don't know what they do. But
yeah, you can bite the YouTube videos and, just like grab the, link of where it is and then just put it on whatever page you want. Yeah. And so it's just, people were taking it left and right when it was big. So, yeah.
I also found this from, I guess, maybe this is when you were in New York or before, just a sort of a mashup of your stand-up. I thought had some pretty good jokes in there.
Sure.
You want to say, I mean, were you living in New York at the time, or?
Yeah, all these clips were from New York. Okay. So, yeah.
All right, so here's some of Chelsea's stand-up.
Buying bras. That's the hard part, is buying bras. You can never find bras that fit. They cost $1,000. You know what I mean? It's really tough when you have big boobs. This one is cool. It's new. I got it at the lingerie department at Home Depot, so that's cool. Well, I know where everyone's eyes are going, so we'll go ahead and get this out of the way right now. Here you go. All right. It was $5 at Target, guys. Calm down. I'm half black and half white, but because my mom's black growing up, I did get beat. That's true, totally true. And hilarious to you, apparently. Laugh it up. Good. Perfect. I did get beat growing up, that's true. But then because my dad's white, he would take me to the next room and he would give me a PowerPoint presentation and an Excel spreadsheet on why that just happened. So, helpful. Thank you, Dad. But the one thing I do love when race is mixed, that's my favorite. Because you're never really sure what you're going to get. Here's a fact. My dad looks like George Costanza from Seinfeld. I wish I was kidding. My mom looks like skinny Oprah. So who knew that those two would bust out a low-budget Alicia Keys, right?
That's great, Chelsea. I especially like that the last joke about the interracial thing.
Yeah. Yeah, so a lot of that, I mean, I still talk about a lot of those, concepts and stuff just because it's me, and I try to keep my comedy as close to, true, like what's going on and stuff, like now a lot of my stuff is about, dating, while the world is falling apart, and, being a single mom and having a 4-year-old. And so it's like, my comedy's definitely evolved, but those things that make me, like growing up in a biracial home, in a very white neighborhood, like that's part of who I am. So I will talk about that probably till the day that I die, like having big boobs, like that's just part of me. If I don't address that on stage, people don't realize I have a face. So I have to talk about it at least once in my set, so it's just, you have to address things that are you, address things that people see, but keep comedy true to you. There's truth and pain in comedy. That's it, so.
Excellent. Well, we're coming to the end here of the interview. I just wanted to give you one last opportunity to promote whatever you want to promote. I know you said the game shows. How can people find all this stuff? Is there a website or just?
Sure. Yeah. There is a website for it. So my game show that my friend and I developed is it's live on Monday nights, but you can catch it whenever. It's called Who Wrote This Shit? Mm-hmm. And we get comics to come on, and really panelists just write funny prompts. They write answers to prompts, and people just try to guess who wrote what. So it's a very easy concept, but I feel like the easy concepts are what make the best shows because it's so open-ended, and you can just play. So Who Wrote This Shit? You can find it on everything, Twitch and Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, WWTS Live. We also have www.tslive.com, and that will take you to all the links that you can find us on. So I do that every single Monday. It's really, really fun. It's live at 6 p.m. Pacific, so you can find me there. ChelseaBearce.com is my website. I will start updating shows on there now because things are starting to happen. So you can find me there. at Chocknilla on Instagram, CHOCNLLIA, the half chocolate, half vanilla. So you can find me there. So I'm constantly working. I'm constantly doing things. And if you ever need a cake, I got you.
All right, guys, give it up for Chelsea Bearce for coming on the show.
Thank
Hey,
you.
hey, Tommy. So I've seen Chelsea live, and she is amazing. And she's amazing in everything she does. So when you get a chance to go see her, run, don't walk to go see her.
That's really
She's
sweet of you.
amazing.
Thank you
Go
so much, Ed.
Chelsea.
That means a lot. Thank you.
I just now remembered I recently saw Chelsea. I saw you on like a hypothetical comedy Zoom show.
Oh yeah.
I was one of the people that had my camera off, and you were hella clowned on us. So like, you guys, your cameras off, your pussy's like, she's right.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, if there's anything that will make someone turn a Zoom camera on, it's just like berating them into oblivion. You know, I mean, it's just, just make them feel like shit. And then they're like, all right.
Definitely hilarious and very quick-witted with crowd work. I know, which was dope.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
All right, you guys. Well, so he has appeared. I do see him on my screen. It's the man, the legend, Nico Lukov, you guys.
Nico.
Let me see. Did I do that right? Gallery view. Where?
For a second, I don't know why, but for a second, I was thinking you were going to talk about me, Tommy.
What up, Trish?
Dude, I actually did too.
Okay, my internet's cutting out, so that is perfect. I have no idea if anybody can hear me right now. I'm just gonna give it a minute.
We can't.
Because it's Zoom, and this is what happens.
You're spotlighted. Okay, this should be working.
All right. Am I moving again?
Yeah.
All right, my internet cut out right when you spotlit me, which is a perfect Zoom thing, because that's just what happens.
All right, well, guys, Nico's here. Nico is our Displaced Comedians, the guy who started Displaced Comedians. For those of you who don't know, that's like become the new hub for comedians around the country to get together, talk about Zoom shows, and Nico is the man for that. So, Nico, what's up? What's going on in the world of Zoom comedy?
Hey, yeah, thanks for asking, Tommy. So Tommy mentioned I started this group. It's kind of all sort of are focused around, even though there's a lot of other stuff going on. Actually, a lot going on. A portion of it is about this list that I put together and I maintain. There's about 200 or so Zoom mics a week that I've been keeping track of. That a lot of people are putting on, which is fantastic. I love that all these people are putting on these shows. When you get a chance, you want to throw it up, that's great. I want to point out, but I got other stuff to chat about too. So basically, yes, this is the group, and I've got a spreadsheet that has by the day of the week and by the time of day in Pacific time. Got a bunch of mics there, and we have been highlighting like usually like one a week. And this is one that I haven't gotten to yet, but I want to. If you start on the 7 o'clock time, Tommy, there's a 7 and 8. There's back to back, and that is not a typo. There is 7 right there. The everyday serious. I'm not gonna butcher that dude's name, but here's a comedian who's doing another one of these mics that's every day of the week, and the second hour of that is 10-minute slots. And it's I think sometimes confuses people when there's like, why is there 2 back to back? Why wouldn't you just make one long one? And one thing I really like about that is then the person who's on, the end of the list doesn't have to stay the whole time from the beginning. Like, you don't feel like, not that everyone stays the whole time anyway, but it's kind of broken up that way. And I think that's probably part of the purpose of it. And the first segment is 5-minute sets. The next segment's 10-minute sets. The same dude does the same thing on the weekends with just 10-minute sets. And that's a long time. That's a long time for people to talk and work on stuff. And a lot of folks were looking for that because, we don't always have a ton of opportunity to have that much time to work on material. So I'm really glad that he's putting that on. It's pretty easy to sign up for.
So this is proof that we're still having new Zoom mics coming up. Like,
oh yeah, all the time. Absolutely.
That's really
a lot. Some will drop off because as live things open up, people go back to their regular jobs. Like different, things happen. But we definitely have had a net increase, not as an accelerated rate as the beginning, but there definitely has been more and more going on. And folks are letting me know when things on here aren't active too, because I can't get to all these. So people let me know like, hey, this one isn't going on anymore. I'm like, fantastic thanks for telling me. Then I'll put a little like rip section at the bottom just to kind of have come a historical back into that. And Cynthia, that is so awesome. I'm so glad you're on that thing. I was so stoked for you. That lady just reached out and was like, hey, this is what we're doing. And instead of posting in the group like, hey, everybody who's that might be cool, quite creative to be involved with this, which is Black female comedians. I just, we were communicating, and I just was like, let's just start naming a bunch of people, like who's putting on shows and new cool shit. You were obviously one of those people. I was really excited. And this is what I'm gonna tell you. I reach out to them, be like, hey, can you want to be on my show? We were talking for a little bit. Worst that happens, I don't know. We're not, obviously, I'm not saying what to do. I'm just saying, like, I think you might be surprised. I might be overly optimistic. I don't know. I think you're doing cool shit, and these people are obviously into what's going on. So that's, I don't know. I hope something like that happens. Another thing that I've seen happening a lot, and I did touch on it, I think last week, was that some people who are more seasoned comedians who have really valuable feedback. This is a great time to like soak it up from them. Some folks in the group, like I mentioned, Brian Barbecue, Winston Hodges, fantastic comedian. He's been on the show. He's doing a Clubhouse deal where he's doing he used to do a show called 50/50 where that was on Zoom. I don't know if he ever did it live, but I know he did it on Zoom for a while, where he had a bunch of comedians just come on and they'd riff a little bit and then each do a couple of bits, and he would give some constructive feedback. We'd all help each other. And I walked away every time with actionable, feedback. And as a comedian, that's all I want to do is have fun and learn how to get better. And he's doing some of that on Clubhouse. He's doing that, I think, next week sometime with Chris Allen, who opens for Mark Norman all the time. They're all both buddies. Like, these are legit people who honestly are going to be household names at some point that are helping. It helps them because they like doing this stuff because it's fun and it keeps them engaged. And some of it's business wise too. Some of them charge a little bit of money, very reasonable rates to do that. And people like me who are like super new comedians, especially, get to take advantage of this. And it's like, I've said this before to different people, like Zoom is like the cheat code right now, in my opinion. Like, fully utilize it as much as possible. I know it's always going to be happening, but in different capacities. But like right now, there's never been a time that I'm aware of. Again, I'm probably new to comedy, so maybe there's something I'm thinking of, like where we can just get so much repetition and so much practice and so much communication and networking in such a short period of time, that it's awesome. And I'm really happy that everyone who's involved with it and for folks to get to take advantage of it. And I'm having a good time in it.
Well, thanks, Nico.
To ask you a question. Sorry, I'm really curious. Do you think? And I guess it's the larger community too. Like, do we think that Clubhouse might be the next Zoom for comedy?
No, it's different. No, it's different. I don't think so. I haven't done. It's not video. Like, it's, at least right now. So who knows? But it's an easy way to start jumping into a bunch of communications really quickly with a bunch of people. But I don't think it's going to replace Zoom. It's just a different thing. If folks aren't familiar with it, it's right now. It's just on iPhone. Likely will be an Android at some point too. I'm not an expert on it by any means. I just get invites for it, and then I'll just post them on Facebook when I have invites and people want them. And they're deep conversations that you can have with people in just all walks of all ranges of professionalism.
Yeah. Well, it's good. No, it's good to know, and I appreciate you mentioning the Clubhouse thing, because that's why we bring Nico Lukoff on the show, you guys, because he brings information from around the internet about comedy. And we appreciate it, guys. Give it up for Nico for
great questions.
Thanks, Tommy. Thanks, everybody. All right. Well, here we are, you guys. We're at the end of the show, except for now we get to do the part where the comedians just get to kind of play with each other here and have a little fun, our game show, if you will. At the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour, we do things a little bit differently. What we try to do here is we try to have a quiz around Japanese commercials. Why Japanese commercials? Well, I used to live in Japan. And when I was living there, I was amazed at how funny their commercials, and just in general, they have a great comedy scene, but their commercials are just fantastic. So much more edgier and ridiculous than our commercials are. So I thought, why can't we bring that into the comedy? And that's what I do here. What I do, I play commercials for our guests first and foremost, and they get to decide what the commercial's about. I play them halfway. And then the idea is to guess what the commercial's about. So with that said, let us go to our first commercial of the night. If you can find that. And all right.
Canned coffee. I know it. It's canned coffee.
What'd you say, Eric?
It's canned coffee every
not
week.
Canned coffee. No, not tonight. But there is one commercial that is dedicated to Eric. So not this one.
Oh,
coming up.
Nice.
There we go. And by the way, Chelsea,
I'm waiting for this day, Tommy. I've waited and waited.
Chelsea Heather Weber writes, "Yay, Chelsea." So we do take comments here on the show. All right. First commercial. Here we go. Chelsea and Tony and Cynthia, get ready because we're going to you first.
Okay.
All right. I gotta stop it there because there's it might give it away if I go past that. What do you
I
guys,
love the faces. I love the looks. It's like, what?
what is going on here? We got an angel singing, some kids, some school kids. Let's see if I can blow up my screen here. Chelsea, what do you think?
I feel like I'm on. I wish I was higher than I am right now. I don't know. Like my first thought is an energy drink because like kids and wings and Red Bull, like my first thought is an energy drink, but now I feel like that's way too fucking normal. So I'm gonna say something like I'm gonna go with like sausage. That's my guess.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with sausage.
Well, these commercials are wacky, but it's not a sausage.
I think that's milk. I seriously think it's milk or some sort of like milky like drink.
Milky.
Like the little like tiny cute little thing. I forgot what it's called, but I think it's
cool.
Cynthia, I'm gonna need you to never to say milky like drink ever again in your life. just cut that out of your vocabulary forever.
Cute little didn't help. Cute little.
Yeah, I'll just save that till I'm pregnant. All right, I think or if.
Tony, what do you think this is a commercial for?
Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Getting a little bit warmer in the sense it is related to kids, as you can see here. Let's start. Suresh, I am so sorry, my man. You know when you come.
Could you play the video again?
Yeah.
So
Run it back.
hoping I mess up and actually show what it's about. So let's. Here we go. One more time.
So is it like a back to school kind of thing?
Getting warmer.
Yeah. So is it like school supplies? School supplies.
Yeah,
A place where you can get school supplies.
Factory reform.
You're getting there. Eric, what do you think?
I think it's a service, and I think it's either like a small business like sweatshop service, or
Jesus.
Okay, maybe not, or I think it could be like for tutoring, like a tutoring service.
It's definitely in the school realm, but it is not. It's not a service.
Definitely not child labor, Eric.
Definitely not child labor.
So yeah,
They don't advertise
okay,
that.
so you got all our guesses. Okay, but you're making us feel terrible about our horrible guesses. Just play the damn commercial.
Well, wait,
It's not going to help when he plays it, by the way. Not at all. But
Really?
Well, this one will help. Ed, I want to give Ed and Nico a chance.
I'm gonna. Well, my guess was service oriented. I thought it was like some transportation service for getting kids to school faster.
Okay,
Oh,
Nico.
I don't hate that. I like that.
I think it's. I think it's just a backpack company. I think it's selling backpacks.
I think you're
Yay.
Nice.
And let us see the backpacks, you guys.
It reminds me of those little bags they had at one point. You were talking about. I forget what they were for. The little bags that.
They look like mailboxes, and there's sausage in them. By the way, there's sausage in those.
I'm gonna just say this. I think Japan is behind on the current trends. Like we got the clear backpacks going on over here in America. They need to catch up. Is all I'm about to say. Safety and style is what we go for. They clearly only go for style. Clearly.
Well, these are supposed to be extra light and extra durable. So, all right, let's go to our great job, Nico. By the way, spot on. And I think you know that because we did backpacks once before. And so
it wasn't backpacks. It was some other kind of little bag that was like a uniform kind of shape. I forget what it was called.
No, that was it. It's called in Japanese.
Yeah, no, it was a backpack.
Oh,
randoseru in Japanese backpacks. It's called randoseru, and it's this thing. It's like it's this uniform size, and everyone in Japan has to have one. And it's a whole thing. The backpack culture. Okay, here we go. Let's write. after this one. If I can find it properly. Okay, next commercial and start. Well, let's play a little bit more. He's dropping his okonomiyaki. He's dropping his. She's just giving him the stink eye. Man. Gosh. Let's start with Tony this time. Tony Viagra. What's your? What is this a commercial for?
eHarmony.
eHarmony.
Yeah.
eHarmony. Yeah. Okay. Could be. But yeah, that's kind of a weird way to start off with stink eye. But all right. It is not eHarmony. But let's see, Chelsea. Any thoughts what this is a commercial for?
I mean, I like the disdain on her face. It's very attractive to me. But I like at first I thought he was like in a robe or something, and I thought he was holding cereal. So then I thought it would be a breakfast cereal. But then when it like was clearly coming out of his bowl, it's not cereal. I'm gonna say it's like dishes, like for like the bowl that he's holding. I'm gonna say that.
For a food, a taco. It's called takoyaki. It's actually squid balls.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's so weird that I didn't know that, Tommy. Thank you so much for throwing that in my face. Bravo.
Flex, Chelsea, wherever I possibly can. So, that's the whole point. You probably figured that out by now. Cynthia, what do you think this is a commercial for?
I actually think it's a commercial for glasses or contact lenses.
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. Nice.
Yeah.
Good job, Cynthia. We have our first correct guess. Let's play the rest of the commercial. It is
What?
contact.
I got it. Right.
Good job. That is not common.
Arigato.
Arigato gozaimasu.
And I just want to point out that in Japanese, iCity is the name of the company, the store, but in Japanese they call that iCity. iCity. So yeah, Citibank had a tough time in Japan for a while because everyone was going around saying Citibank.
That's why they needed contact lenses, right?
Let me find the next commercial. Okay, this.
How do the Japanese say ice cream?
This is the Eric commercial coming up here.
Yes.
Find it.
All right.
Is this the
Nike.
one for Eric?
Dedicated to Eric because it starts off as something that I think he likes a lot.
No one's ever dedicated an advertisement to me before. This is
Hey,
crazy.
Eric, you know who the next sponsor is
And
going to be?
don't take this as a hint, Eric. If it's
Yeah, nice.
This even has a little bit of English in it, which is kind of neat.
Whoa, that's like cheating.
Yeah.
That looks like Eric right there.
That was me this
Okay.
morning.
The next commercial and start.
Ah,
日本は漫画の国です。
Ah,
若
yes.
者は漫画に夢中です。憧れのシチュエーションは壁ドンです。
Reality is slightly different.
I know what it is.
All right. So it's about manga. It's talking about Japan as a country of manga, which I know you like, Eric.
Yep.
Do you know what kabedon is? This like where you back up against the wall and corner a girl like that?
I actually don't know what that is.
Okay.
No one believes you, Eric.
I can't believe that's like a,
Right? Do you
I
know
can't
what
believe-
harassment is? Like, what is this? This is
I don't know how to say it in every language. I know what it looks like, but yeah.
It's an overt harassment, yes, but is it played romantically in every single manga and anime? Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Not as much as in the Korean ones, though, so it's all good.
No, it is in the dramas, yeah.
Yeah.
Is this what is this a commercial for, Cynthia?
Ah, shit. Social distancing.
This is a pre-pandemic commercial.
Shit. Either that or deodorant.
Deodorant? Oh, that's a good guess, actually. It is a product, but it's not that kind of product. Chelsea, what do you think?
Anti-age cream.
Okay. Not anti-age cream. But this is an older gentleman. You are correct.
Thank you. Hence my answer.
All right, I do my best here. We haven't heard from Ed Rubin in a while.
All right, my guess is large print anime books.
Print anime. Mm.
Yeah, so that the older guys can read it without looking at the.
I gotta guess. Oh, if
now you're getting colder. It's a little bit.
Oh
it's more of
man.
a. It's definitely a product, but
Hey, can you run it back one time?
yeah, let's run it again. Thank you for running. That's good.
Did all of our guests get a guess here? I don't know if Tony did.
日本は漫画の国です。若者は漫画に夢中です。憧れのシチュエーションは壁ドンです。
Is it a product for lower
Maybe-
back or?
Maybe breath mints? Is it like for? Is that? Do they have that there? I don't know. Is it gum? Is that a thing?
Pepper spray?
Not breath mint.
Is it to help the old man with balance?
Tony, we did give our guest Tony a chance. Tony, what is the commercial for?
Adderall.
We
Take
should take
Adderall.
it.
We need more manga.
Is it not pepper spray?
It is not pepper spray.
Is it to help with balance?
Would you like a hint?
Balance guy might be like, he looks like examining her hair. Is it like a hair product?
It's completely unrelated to any of this. It is.
That
just
makes
think-
sense.
Think about a really popular Japanese product that probably every Japanese person buys.
Internet service.
Think
Face
like
mask?
just ubiquitous.
Face mask?
I'll give you another hint. It's a food.
Sushi?
Not sushi. It's in every pantry in Japan.
Oh
The edamame.
Some kind of noodle?
Cup?
Rice?
Yeah, we
Mochi.
don't know.
I feel racist
Mochi
no matter what I
or
say.
rice?
So.
Right.
Mochi?
We're just
Well,
getting
Japanese
more
people
and
like.
more
It's for
racist. with our-
this is
with our
for
guests.
noodles.
Yeah, it is getting pretty racist. Yeah. It was
Coffee.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
So,
I'm the biggest cup noodle fan.
in this country,
I love cup noodle. I
cup
own
noodles are
numerous
hot.
cup noodle shirts.
It's a joke. They're just trying to say, okay, we like manga. Manga is hot, and so is cup noodles. I know that was a trick question. It was a trick commercial.
I get it because the old guy was getting into a cup of hot water.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, we got one more commercial.
That was good.
Well, it's actually right. This is one right here.
Nice.
Oh.
Here we go. Last commercial of the night. Thank you
Is
for
it for a cup of noodles?
Here we go.
Avocados.
I know. I know.
味があれ本当にキュウリですかご満足いただけない
All right,
I
she's
know.
apologizing to him.
He looks like a walking hate crime against either cucumbers or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like
Yeah.
I can't
I know.
decide. This is
I
not-
know.
Tony, what do you think?
It's a commercial for Mo from the Three Stooges.
He does have the bald spot. Chelsea?
Pass. I have no. I don't. This is the weirdest thing I've been a part of, and I lived in New York. This is fucking weird. I have no idea.
The turtle eating a cucumber is confusing. How's that
It's
confusing?
a zucchini. It was a zucchini.
Oh, sorry. Roger.
Too Freudian.
I do know that. It's a zucchini. I have one in the.
As long as it's
top
not
drawer
an
of my
eggplant,
it's, a
that's
cucumber.
the-
It's a cucumber.
Nice.
Yeah,
Definitely a
I
cucumber.
thought it was a Japanese pickle.
Japanese no, it's a cute. Well, yeah, it's a Japanese cucumber. Eric, Nico, what do you guys think?
I have no idea on this one. He's dressed like a turtle and he's like trying to return some
Okay,
food.
I think it's a skin cream of some sort.
I think it's a lottery ticket.
Credit card.
You're kind of getting a little warmer here.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
let's
not
just
bad.
let's see what's happening here for a second, okay?
He's just trying to buy some
キュウ
stuff.
リ太くて立派なんですけどなんだか違うんですよね味が
He's eating the curry. He's eating the kuri, which is cucumber in Japanese. He's like, this is good, but there's something off about it because he looks a little disappointed, right? So he goes back to the
あ
store.
れ本当にキュウリですか
He said, "Is this really a cucumber?"
ご満足いただけない場合は
And, and then
I mean, it looks like it's a different commercial to you because you know what they're saying. Like, I mean,
that's the quiz. That's the
Is
quiz.
this really? So what? Is this like a return system? Like
Right. Or is he asking for like dressing
Someone
or
already-
the
something?
return
Or-
system?
Where
Like
we-
a return
Is this where you-
policy,
is this
membership
where you-
policy, membership? Like,
This is where you
The
hire
service to
private
get vegetables.
detective?
It is a no questions asked returns policy.
Wow, Cynthia
Oh.
too.
It's Costco.
Cynthia, this is the weirdest thing to be good at, Cynthia. This is really, I'm very impressed.
It is a no
no
questions
for the black women. All right, we all win. We all win on this
Yeah.
show.
Word.
Yeah,
Kelsey's like,
see,
I don't know if I want this on
all
my
the-
credits. Like, I don't
all the lessons she learned from the first time she was on the show.
I think I was mainly giving the lesson of like, oh, we'll be in COVID till like spring or summer, and I was right.
Yeah.
Well, good job, Cynthia. Definitely you figured out the algorithm, to put it in tech terms. Chelsea, we're sorry it was maybe we blindsided you here a little bit with this weird show, but you know. You gotta do what you gotta do. You know, you gotta make it interesting. But anyway, that was the show, you guys. Thanks for everyone who kept on watching. We had other people. We had people watching live throughout the entire show. So thank you, guests, for coming on and making it fun. Thanks for everyone. We will be back next Friday, the 12th. I don't know, Ed, if you want to bring up some music to kind of lead us out. And while you're doing that, I'll keep saying thanks to everyone for joining us here on the Tony Feldman Happy Hour.
I was funny stuff, Tony. I want to see you
Big show.
Weekend, and let's give it up to yourself. Ed, do we have some outro music?
Oh, that's because I forgot to reshare my music, Tommy.
Well, we can.
Sorry. Here we go. It should be on now.
We think you should learn how to beatbox, Tony, for these situations.
Okay, I can't do that.
There you go, buddy. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you, everyone, for posting, coming on the show. We'll post all your details on the page. This was the Tommy Feldman Happy Hour. See you all next week. Thanks, everybody. Bye. Good night.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
on Zoom, Mike.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, everybody.